When you think about building the best version of yourself, the first step is having a clear vision for what that looks like. Clarity is power. It's like setting a GPS for your life. If you don't know the destination, how can you expect to get there? You can't just say, I want to be better. Better at what? Better for whom? Better how? You've got to dig deep and figure out what that better means to you personally. What drives you? What lights you up? What makes you jump out of bed in the morning, ready to take on the world? Start by asking yourself some powerful questions. What do I truly want in my life? What would make me proud of the person I am becoming? Don't just think about the surface level stuff like a bigger paycheck or a nicer car, though those can be motivating. Look at the bigger picture. Is it being a role model for your kids, making a meaningful impact in your community, building a life filled with passion, purpose, and fulfillment? Once you've answered these questions, take that vision and make it real. Get specific. Don't just say, I want to get healthy. Instead, decide, I want to lose 20 pounds by July while feeling strong and energetic. Don't just say, I want to advance in my career. Instead, map it out. I want to secure that promotion by learning new skills, networking, and becoming a more valuable contributor to my team. Clarity brings focus, and focus brings results. The clearer you are, the more likely you are to make it happen. But here's the thing, just having a vision isn't enough. A vision without a plan is like a dream without wings. You need to break it down into bite-sized, actionable steps. Look at your goal, then ask yourself, what's one thing I can do today to get closer to that vision? What's one thing I can do this week? When you chunk it down, it becomes manageable. You stop feeling overwhelmed, and instead you're empowered to take consistent action. And don't be afraid to adjust along the way. Life isn't linear. You might set a course and realize you need to pivot. That's okay. What matters is that you keep moving forward. The vision is your guiding star, but the path might twist and turn. As long as you stay flexible and focused, you'll find your way. Now, here's another piece of this puzzle. Your vision has to align with your values. If you set a goal that doesn't resonate with who you are at your core, you'll struggle to stay motivated. Let's say you set a goal to build a business, but deep down your real passion is helping people directly, one-on-one. You're going to feel a disconnect. Success without fulfillment is the ultimate failure. So ask yourself, does this vision excite me? Does it feel true to who I am? When your vision aligns with your values, you tap into a deeper well of energy, passion, and determination. And let's talk about fear for a moment, because it will show up, it always does, when we're chasing something bigger than ourselves. Fear of failure, fear of judgment, fear of the unknown. But let me tell you something, fear is a sign that you're growing. It's a signal that you're stepping out of your comfort zone, and stepping out of your comfort zone and moving towards something meaningful. If you're not feeling a little scared, you're probably not stretching yourself enough. Fear is not the enemy, stagnation is. When that fear shows up, don't push it away, acknowledge it, let it remind you that you're alive, that you're on the edge of something great. Then take that fear and use it as fuel. Say, thank you for the warning, but I'm in charge here, and take the next step anyway. Courage isn't the absence of fear, it's moving forward despite it. You also need to protect your vision. Not everyone will understand it, and that's okay. It's not their vision, it's yours. You'll meet doubters, naysayers, and even well-meaning people who might tell you to be realistic. But remember, realistic is just a fancy word for someone else's limitations. Don't let someone else's fears or opinions shrink the size of your dreams. Guard your vision like it's sacred, because it is. Surround yourself with people who uplift you, inspire you, and believe in your potential. The energy of the people around you will either lift you higher or hold you back. Choose wisely. Keep that vision alive in your heart and mind every single day. Make it part of your routine. Visualize it vividly. See yourself living it, feeling it, being it. The more you immerse yourself in that vision, the more your brain will start to believe it's possible. And when your mind believes, your body follows. That's when you start to see the magic happen, because you've aligned your thoughts, your actions, and your emotions with the future you've decided to create. And the most important thing you can do to really create the life you're seeking is to formulate that vision 60 seconds 3 times a day by using daily visualizations as one of the most powerful ways to impart that vision. So take a moment right now to think about the best version of you in 2025. Close your eyes if you need to. Picture it, feel it, hear it, and then when you open your eyes, commit to it. Because the future isn't something that happens to you, it's something you create. When it comes to building the best version of yourself, one of the most powerful tools you can embrace is a growth mindset. It's the belief that who you are today isn't fixed, that you can learn, evolve, and grow into someone stronger, smarter, more capable. It's not just wishful thinking, it's a shift in how you approach challenges, setbacks, and even success. Because let's face it, life isn't always smooth sailing. It's filled with roadblocks, surprises, and moments when you question whether you have what it takes. But here's the truth. The only limits that matter are the ones you choose to accept. When you adopt a growth mindset, you see every challenge as an opportunity. You stop asking, why is this happening to me? And start asking, what can I learn from this? How can this make me better? It's not about pretending everything is perfect. It's about seeing the value in imperfection, in struggle, in the process of becoming. Growth happens when you step outside of what's comfortable and familiar. It happens when you lean into the discomfort of trying something new, knowing you might stumble, but trusting that you'll get up stronger each time. And yes, you will stumble. You'll fall short. You'll make mistakes. But let me tell you something, mistakes aren't failures. They're feedback. They're life's way of showing you what works and what doesn't. Think of every mistake as a step closer to success. Each one teaches you something valuable if you're willing to listen. The people who achieve greatness in any field didn't get there because they never failed. They got there because they failed, learned, and kept going. Here's what separates those who grow from those who don't: resilience. Resilience isn't about ignoring pain or pretending everything's fine. It's about acknowledging the pain, processing it, and then deciding it won't define you. It's about looking at the setback and saying, this is tough, but I'm tougher. When you cultivate resilience, you turn obstacles into stepping stones. You develop the ability to bounce back faster, to adapt, and to find strength in the struggle. But growth doesn't happen in isolation. It's fueled by the belief that you can improve. That belief is something you have to nurture, especially when the voice of self-doubt creeps in. We all have that voice, that inner critic that says, you're not good enough, or what makes you think you can do this? Here's the key. Don't silence the voice. Challenge it. Question it. Replace it with a more empowering narrative. Instead of I can't do this, try I can't do this yet. That single word, yet, shifts your perspective. It reminds you that ability isn't fixed. It's something you build over time. And let's talk about the role of effort. Some people think talent is what separates success from failure, but talent only takes you so far. It's effort, consistency, and perseverance that make the difference. The best athletes, the most successful entrepreneurs, the most creative artists, they didn't rely solely on natural ability. They worked at it. They pushed through frustration, doubt, and fatigue. They kept showing up, even when progress felt slow. That's what a growth mindset is about. Trusting the process and committing to the journey, no matter how long it takes. You also have to surround yourself with the right environment for growth. Imagine planting a seed. If you leave it in poor soil with no sunlight or water, it doesn't matter how much potential that seed has, it won't grow. The same goes for you. Your mindset flourishes when you're surrounded by people who inspire and challenge you, by experiences that stretch you, by a culture that values learning and curiosity. Seek out mentors, role models, and peers who push you to level up. And when you encounter people who doubt you or try to hold you back, don't let their limitations become yours. A growth mindset also means celebrating progress, not just results. So often we get caught up in the end goal that we forget to acknowledge the steps we've taken to get there. But every step matters. Every small win, every improvement, every lesson learned, it all adds up. When you take a moment to reflect on how far you've come, you fuel your momentum. You remind yourself that growth is happening, even when it's not immediately visible. So as you move forward in your journey to becoming the best version of yourself, remember this: you are not a finished product. You are a work in progress, and that's a beautiful thing. Embrace the challenges, the setbacks, and the victories with the same energy, knowing that each one is shaping you into who you're meant to be. The best version of you is not a destination. It's a commitment to grow every single day. If you want to build the best version of yourself, there's one area you absolutely cannot neglect: your mental and physical well-being. This is your foundation. It doesn't matter how big your goals are or how driven you feel. If you're running on empty, you won't get far. Imagine trying to build a skyscraper on shaky ground. It doesn't matter how beautiful the structure is, without a solid foundation, it'll crumble. Your body and mind are that foundation, and it's up to you to make them strong, resilient, and vibrant. Let's start with your mental well-being because everything begins there. Your mind is the control center for how you experience life. The thoughts you allow to dominate your mind shape your emotions, your decisions, and ultimately your destiny. So let me ask you, what kind of dialogue are you having with yourself daily? Are you building yourself up? Or are you tearing yourself down? Too often, we let stress, negativity, and self-doubt take over our inner world. And when that happens, it clouds everything else. But here's the good news. You have the power to reset. You can choose how you respond to life's challenges and how you frame your experiences. Practices like mindfulness, meditation, and journaling are incredible tools to calm the chaos in your mind and create space for clarity. When you take just a few minutes every day to pause, breathe, and center yourself, you're reclaiming control. You're training your brain to focus on the present moment instead of getting lost in anxiety about the future or regret about the past. And that clarity allows you to make better decisions, stay grounded, and approach your goals with the energy they deserve. Now, mental well-being also means managing stress, and let's be honest, stress is a part of life, but how you handle it makes all the difference. Stress doesn't have to break you. It can sharpen you, make you stronger. The key is to learn how to channel it effectively. When stress comes knocking, ask yourself, what is this stress trying to teach me? How can I use this to grow? And then take action. Move your body, talk to someone you trust, or simply step back and reassess. Don't let stress run the show. Turn it into a tool for growth. But your mental well-being doesn't stand alone. It's deeply connected to your physical health. The way you treat your body affects your energy, your mood, and your ability to show up fully in every area of your life. You can't operate at your peak when you're running on caffeine and 3 hours of sleep. You can't focus on your goals when your body is crying out for nourishment, rest, or movement. Start by making your health a priority, not an afterthought. It's not selfish, it's essential. Think about how you're fueling your body. The food you eat isn't just calories, it's information for your cells. It affects how you think, how you feel, and how you perform. If you're constantly putting junk into your system, you can't expect to get premium results. It's not about being perfect, it's about making small, consistent choices that add up over time. Choose foods that energize you, hydrate like your life depends on it, because it does, and pay attention to how your body responds. And then there's movement. Your body was designed to move, and when you honor that design, you unlock a whole new level of vitality. Exercise isn't just about looking good, it's about feeling strong, capable, and alive. Whether it's hitting the gym, going for a run, practicing yoga, or dancing in your living room, find something that you enjoy and make it part of your life. It doesn't have to be extreme, it just has to be consistent. Because when you move your body, you're not just building physical strength, you're clearing mental fog, releasing stress, and boosting your mood. It's one of the most powerful tools you have to reset and recharge. And let's not forget rest. In a world that glorifies hustle and grind, it's easy to overlook the importance of recovery, but rest isn't a luxury, it's a necessity. Sleep is when your body repairs itself, when your mind processes the day and prepares for what's next. Without it, you're operating on borrowed energy, and eventually that debt catches up with you. Make sleep a non-negotiable part of your routine. Create a space for rest, both physically and mentally, so you can wake up each day ready to give your all. Taking care of your mental and physical well-being isn't just about avoiding burnout. It's about showing up as your best self, day in and day out. When you feel good, you perform better, you think clearer, you connect deeper, and you take on challenges with confidence. You can't pour from an empty cup, so fill yours first. Make your well-being the cornerstone of everything you do, and watch how every other part of your life starts to flourish. If you're serious about building the best version of yourself, there's something you need to embrace fully, and that's the idea of lifelong learning. Growth isn't something that stops when you graduate from school or land your dream job. It's a lifelong process, a commitment to continually expanding who you are, what you know, and what you can do. Learning is the fuel for progress, the bridge between where you are now and where you want to be. Think about it, the world is constantly changing, evolving at a pace that's faster than ever before. New technology, new industries, new ways of thinking, it's all happening right now. And the people who thrive in this environment are the ones who stay curious and adaptable. They're the ones who ask, what's next? What else can I learn? How can I improve? Those questions are the gateway to possibilities you can't even imagine yet. But here's the thing about learning. It's not just about acquiring knowledge, it's about applying that knowledge, because knowledge without action is just potential. It's like storing fuel in a tank, but never turning on the engine. Learning should ignite something in you. It should push you to act, to try, to fail, to grow. That's how you turn information into transformation. And let me tell you, it's not always comfortable. Real learning requires stepping into the unknown, being willing to admit you don't have all the answers, and sometimes looking foolish in the process. But guess what? That's where the magic happens. Growth lives outside your comfort zone. When you challenge yourself to master a new skill, take on a new role, or dive into a subject that intimidates you, you're stretching your mind and your capabilities. And that stretch is what prepares you for the opportunities and challenges ahead. Here's the truth. Your ability to learn and adapt is one of the most powerful advantages you have. And it's not just about technical skills or career growth. It's about becoming a more complete person. It's about expanding your perspective, gaining new insights, and developing the tools to navigate life's complexities. Every time you learn something new, you're building confidence in your ability to figure things out, and that confidence becomes a foundation for everything else you do. So how do you make lifelong learning a part of who you are? It starts with curiosity. Stay curious about the world, about people, about yourself. Ask questions. Be open to new ideas, even if they challenge what you already believe. Curiosity is what keeps you engaged, what keeps you growing. It's the spark that leads you to pick up a book, attend a seminar, or start a conversation with someone who has a different perspective. And now I think we've done our job. To educate you, and don't be afraid to seek out challenges. Learning isn't always easy or convenient. Sometimes it's messy. Sometimes it feels like you're making more mistakes than progress. But those mistakes are part of the process. Every time you stumble, you're gathering data, refining your approach, and getting closer to mastery. Failure isn't the opposite of learning, it's a critical part of it. One of the most powerful ways to accelerate your learning is by surrounding yourself with people who push you to be better. Find mentors, coaches, and peers who inspire you, who challenge your thinking, and who hold you to a higher standard. The people you spend time with have a profound impact on your growth. If you're the smartest person in the room, you're in the wrong room. Seek out those who can teach you, who can guide you, and who can help you see what you're truly capable of. At the same time, remember that learning is personal. It's about discovering what works for you, what excites you, what resonates with your goals. Not every lesson will come from a textbook or a formal class. Sometimes it's in the hands-on experience, the trial and error, the moments of reflection. Pay attention to what life is teaching you, because the best lessons often come from unexpected places. And don't wait for the perfect time to start. The perfect time is now. You don't need a grand plan or a massive overhaul. Just start with one step. Read that book you've been meaning to read. Sign up for that course you've been curious about. Try something new and see where it takes you. One step leads to the next, and before you know it, you're on a path of constant growth. Lifelong learning isn't just about acquiring knowledge, it's about becoming. It's about unlocking more of your potential, expanding what's possible, and stepping into the person you were always meant to be, because the more you learn, the more you can do and the more you can give. And that's what it's all about. Becoming your best so you can give your best. To build the best version of yourself, there's one element you can't overlook: the power of your habits. Your habits shape your life. They determine how you spend your time, the actions you take consistently, and ultimately the person you become. And here's the kicker. Most of the time, we're not even fully aware of the habits running our lives. They're automatic, ingrained, and often working in the background. But the beautiful thing is, once you recognize their power, you can take control of them. You can design habits that serve your vision and let go of the ones that don't. Habits are the small, repeated actions that compound over time. Think about that for a second. It's not the grand, once-in-a-while gestures that define you. It's the little things you do daily. It's the way you start your morning, the thoughts you entertain, the choices you make when nobody's watching. These seemingly insignificant actions add up and create the trajectory of your life. And this is where the real work begins, by being intentional about your habits. The first step is awareness. Take an honest look at your current habits. Ask yourself, are these helping me move closer to the person I want to be, or are they holding me back? Be real with yourself, because growth starts with clarity. Maybe it's the habit of hitting snooze on your alarm, scrolling endlessly on your phone, or procrastinating when you know there's something important to do. Or maybe it's the little things you're not doing, like drinking enough water, moving your body, or taking time to plan your day. Every habit, big or small, is either moving you forward or keeping you stuck. But here's the great news. You don't need to overhaul everything all at once. The key to lasting change is starting small. Focus on one habit at a time. Think about the one thing that, if you changed it, would have the biggest positive ripple effect in your life. Maybe it's committing to waking up 30 minutes earlier to focus on your goals. Maybe it's practicing gratitude every evening to shift your mindset. Or maybe it's something as simple as replacing your afternoon soda with water. Start small and then build on that momentum. Habits thrive on consistency, not perfection. It's not about getting it right every single time. It's about showing up again and again. The magic happens when you stick with it long enough for the habit to become automatic. Think about brushing your teeth. It's second nature now, right? But there was a time when it wasn't. The same principle applies to every other habit you want to create. The more consistent you are, the more your brain rewires itself, making that habit part of your identity. And speaking of identity, this is where the real transformation happens. When you tie your habits to who you are instead of just what you do, they become far more powerful. For example, instead of saying, I'm trying to work out more, say, I'm someone who values my health and moves my body every day. Instead of saying, I'm trying to eat better, say, I'm the kind of person who fuels my body with what it needs to thrive. This shift in language and mindset is huge, because your brain will work to align your actions with your identity. But what about the habits that aren't serving you, the ones you know are holding you back? Changing those requires the same intentionality. Start by identifying the triggers, the cues that lead to the habit. Maybe you grab junk food when you're stressed, or waste hours on social media when you're bored. Once you understand the trigger, you can interrupt the pattern. Replace it with something that aligns with your goals. Stress hits, go for a walk or practice deep breathing. Feeling bored? Dive into a book or work on a project you've been meaning to start. It's about rewiring your responses so that your actions serve your growth instead of sabotaging it. And here's a truth we often forget. Your environment plays a huge role in your habits. If you're trying to build better habits, set yourself up for success. Make it easy to do the things that serve you and harder to do the things that don't. Want to eat healthier? Stock your fridge with nutritious options and keep the junk out of sight. Want to read more? Leave a book on your nightstand instead of your phone. Your environment can either support your habits or work against them, so design it intentionally. As you start building these habits, celebrate the progress. Even the smallest wins deserve recognition, because every time you acknowledge the effort you're putting in, you reinforce the habit and strengthen your belief in your ability to change. Success isn't about perfection, it's about progress. Number 3, as a personal growth and development coach, I'm all about inside-out business approach. The habits you build today are the foundation for the person you'll become tomorrow. With every small intentional action, you're casting a vote for the future version of yourself. So start now. Choose one habit, take one step, and then keep going. Because the best version of you is built one habit at a time. The journey to building the best version of yourself isn't something you can or should do alone. The people you surround yourself with play a profound role in shaping who you become. They influence your mindset, your choices, and your ability to stay on track when things get tough. If you want to elevate your life, you need to be intentional about the relationships you nurture and the energy you allow into your space. The truth is, your environment is either lifting you up or pulling you down, and there's no neutral ground. Think about the people closest to you right now. Do they inspire you? Do they challenge you to be better? Do they believe in your potential even when you doubt yourself? Or do they drain your energy, feed your insecurities, or hold you back from chasing your dreams? It's not always easy to admit, but sometimes the relationships we hold on to out of habit or history aren't the ones that help us grow. And if you're serious about building the best version of yourself, you need to take a hard look at who's in your corner. It doesn't mean cutting people out of your life without thought. It means setting boundaries, recognizing where relationships need to shift, and actively seeking out connections that align with the life you're building. Surround yourself with people who share your values, who are striving for growth, and who bring out the best in you. These are the people who will celebrate your wins, hold you accountable when you stray, and remind you of your potential when you lose sight of it. But it's not just about what others can do for you, it's about what you can give too. Strong relationships are a two-way street. If you want people to invest in you, you have to invest in them. Show up for the people in your life with the same energy and commitment you hope to receive. Be the kind of friend, partner, or mentor who inspires trust, loyalty, and mutual growth. Because when you give your best to others, you create relationships that are rich, meaningful, and deeply fulfilling. One of the most powerful ways to build these kinds of relationships is by practicing authenticity. Be real, be vulnerable, let people see who you truly are, not just the polished version you think they want to see. When you're honest about your struggles, your fears, and your aspirations, you invite others to do the same. And that's where real connection happens. In the shared experience of being human, in the willingness to say, I don't have it all figured out, but I'm trying. In the process of building your network, remember that diversity is key. Seek out people who see the world differently than you do. People from different backgrounds, industries, and perspectives. They'll challenge your thinking, broaden your horizons, and help you see possibilities you might have missed. Growth doesn't happen in an echo chamber. It happens when you're exposed to new ideas, new ways of solving problems, and new ways of being. And don't underestimate the value of mentorship. Find someone who's a few steps ahead of where you want to be, someone who's walked the path you're on and can offer guidance, encouragement, and wisdom. A mentor can save you from costly mistakes, open doors you didn't know existed, and accelerate your growth in ways you can't do alone. But remember, mentorship isn't a one-sided relationship. Show your appreciation, respect their time, and bring value to the relationship however you can. At the same time, don't forget to pay it forward. There's always someone who can benefit from your knowledge, your experience, or your support. Becoming a mentor doesn't just help others. It strengthens your own understanding and deepens your sense of purpose. When you lift others up, you create a ripple effect of growth and positivity that extends far beyond yourself. And then there's the community you build. It's not just about individual relationships, it's about creating an environment where growth is the norm, where everyone is committed to bringing their best and supporting one another. Whether it's a mastermind group, a professional network, or a close circle of friends, surround yourself with people who are as hungry for growth as you are. Because when you're part of a community that's striving together, the momentum is unstoppable. No one achieves greatness alone. Behind every success story is a network of people who believe, supported, and push that person to keep going. You are no different. The people you choose to surround yourself with will either accelerate your growth or hold you back. So choose wisely. Seek out relationships that challenge you, inspire you, and remind you of who you are capable of becoming. Be intentional, be authentic, and be willing to give as much as you hope to receive. Because when you build a network of people who believe in you, you're not just building relationships, you're building a foundation for a life of purpose, connection, and endless possibility.